This episode we travel from Robe to Mount Gambier, approximately 128 kilometres, and we only just make it. Alright, welcome back to another episode, or if you haven't been here before, welcome to Aussie Encounters. So we have left Robe this morning and we will be going to Mount Gambier. However, on the way we are stopping at Beachport just to fill up with some fuel, and then we'll go to Port MacDonald to link up our half a lap of Australia. So it has been just shy of 14 months and that will be half a lap. So so the only quick bit that we did was going from Darwin straight down to Streaky Bay just before Christmas. But other than that, we had pretty much done it fairly well paced, I think. Moved whenever we felt like it. So yeah, to get an idea of how long it can take to do half a lap. If you're doing it with no time frames, whatever, just move on when you feel like you've had enough of one area. 14 months. So yeah, that'll be good. So we will, I don't know how long we're going to stay at Mount Gambier, as we never know how long we're going to stay in an area, but we'll show you around. I'll show you bits of Port MacDonald. Maybe if we see anything at Beachport, we'll show you that too. So we'll see where we are next time we pop in. Okay, so we went to Beachport, just a heads up for everyone, with a caravan on the back. You cannot get fuel there. The roof limit, well, if you've got a high caravan like ours, the height limit is 2.8 metres and we wouldn't have made it underneath. So we will now get fuel at Millicent. But while we're there, we did a little tourist scenic drive, which was lovely. So I'll be able to put a little bit of footage of that we got after this clip, and we'll keep moving on to Millicent.
Just also it's we drove past it once, the fuel station. It's actually very small, and it's like a little general store just with a couple of pumps out there, unless you're really looking. You tend to be looking at everything else in the town, and you just drove right past it. But yes, it is a very low canopy, especially people like us who've got the off-road caravans or the semi-off-road with a bit of height and air conditioning on top. We would have it might have been close, but I wasn't going to chance it. I think the canopy is too low for us, so we wouldn't have been. Now if you were desperate for fuel, you'd have to unhitch and drive your car in and then go back and hitch up again. So but Millicent's only about 35, 36 k's up the road, so it's not that far. So
alright, so don't know when we'll be filming next, but we'll see you then.
Hey everyone, well, it's been one of those weeks, and the realities of full-time travel or travel on the road for that matter is we eventually have had a breakdown in the Y62 patrol. Now we left Robe and we're heading to Port Macdonald via Beachport. Port Macdonald was sort of our link-up point to do a complete half lap of Australia. That we did get as far as Port Macdonald from when we went down to Portland, right from when we started. So we were going to link back up. Then we're going to stay at Mount Gambier for a week and explore the region there. Anyway, left Robe, no problems. Travelled down to Beachport, and when we got to Beachport, start hearing a little bit of a noise coming from underneath the bonnet, and didn't like the sound of it. So I popped the bonnet, had a quick look, couldn't see anything, but yeah, there was definitely a noise there. So we thought, well, better be on the safe side. We're only about 35 to 40 k's, I can't remember exactly, but not that far to Mount Gambier. So we cut our losses and turned left instead of turning right, so to speak, and headed up to where we're staying at Mount Gambier. As we got into Mount Gambier, yeah, the noise had gotten progressively worse. We'll put a bit of a clip there in. Tracy will of a bit of footage that we took of the noise under the bonnet. If you hear it, you'll hear it. Started off as a bit of a squeal, and then progressively got very bad. Sound like a bearing had let go somewhere. Well, hopefully not in the engine at that stage. We didn't know exactly what it was. I had a pretty good idea, but we were just hoping that was going to be the case, not something major wrong with the car. But pardon me. Anyway, yeah. So we unhooked the van, set up. Of course, my temporary fix to the jockey wheel worked, but then something else went wrong on the jockey wheel. We actually broke the pin that holds the handle on, so I ended up having to chuck a punch into the handle and to wind that off. That was okay. They got us out of it. That was only a couple of minutes fix. And then I got on the phone and
you tried to move the car first.
Oh yeah, Tracy tried to move the car forward as I unhitched and it wouldn't start. It wouldn't turn over. I'm going, oh, this is not good. Like the engine had seized. Anyway, I left it for about half an hour and let it cool down. I went out there, hit the starter, and it started up. So, but in the meantime, I'd been on the phone and rang around some of the different mechanics here in Mount Gambier to see if we could bring the car around for people to have a look. So, got on the 1 4-drive place. He was really good. Said, yep, bring it straight around. So when the car started back up, we quickly jumped in the car. It was only about 5 6 k's away. We drove into town, didn't stop the car, didn't want to risk the engine not starting again. They come out and they've looked at it and go, yeah, that's not good. And look, we haven't, and they said, sorry, we haven't really worked on Y62 patrols. There is a Nissan dealership in town, they're pretty good, take it down there. So we thanked them very much. They didn't charge us anything. Proceeded to head down to Nissan and drove it into service down there, parked up, walked in, seen them, spoke to a young gentleman by the name of Luke, and he was very helpful. He organised one of the mechanics to come out, and they proceeded to diagnose the car that yes, it was definitely a starter motor. Sorry, not starter motor. Alternator had failed. It sounded like the bearings had failed in the alternator, and it would definitely need replacing. It wasn't sounding very good. It sounded like big ends of the engine had gone. It was really rattling and clanging. Anyway, that was okay, but unfortunately they couldn't fit us in until the 19th of next month. So as we say, as I'm recording this, it's now the 29th of May, so we've still got a few weeks to go yet before we can do it. So they said, yep, no worries, we can't do anything about it, and we drove. They proceeded to say, look, we'll email you a quote out. Do you want OEM alternator or a aftermarket one? I said, we'll price up both and we'll take it from there. drove it back to the caravan park, parked it up, and we got the quote later on that day. And boy oh boy, is a standard OEM Nissan Patrol Y62 alternator. I think I'd have to give both arms and both kidneys for a standard alternator. They're over $2,000 without fitment. So, and of course the aftermarket one was $693 to $695, something like that. So it was a bit of a no-brainer. Yep, they could get that. They'd have to come back from Melbourne, which was not a problem. I was overnighted from Melbourne, but still they couldn't do it until the 19th. So we definitely booked that in, and that's where we are at the moment. We've
but also,
hang on. Yep.
Just on that, we've been posting on our social media about our issues, and some kind people have said, oh, go check out these people in Mount Gambier. They might be able to do it sooner, but unfortunately, like we've said in the previous episode regarding our budget, we weren't lying in that episode. We live week to week, and unfortunately we need that time that they could fit us in to the 19th to actually save up the money to get the repairs done. So it's fine that it's going to be that long. It's going to be a pain of not being able to go around in town and do anything, but yeah, the money that we'd put aside for fuel each week is now going towards fixing the car, and put aside a few bills so we're about to get it done. So yeah, so that's where we're at. We did manage to sneak out yesterday. We had to do a bit of shopping. The supermarket's only about 5k's as the crow flies, or 7k's by road. Not that far, but went out there, did some shopping. As we came back in, the warning light on the dash came on for the alternator, so I'd say the alternator's now stopped charging, so it means we won't be driving anywhere other than to the dealership when it's ready to go. I'll just the day before, I'll pull out the battery charger and make sure the battery's 100% fully charged, so we can drive it down there on the battery. It's only about 7k's away, so it should last 7k's, no problems. And we'll drive it into Nissan, and hopefully 3 hours later we'll drive out with a shiny new alternator fit of the car and all ready to go. It just means that we haven't had a chance to explore the region. We might extend for a couple of days after we repair, because the repair's on a Monday. We normally leave on a Wednesday, so we might leave till the end of that week, and hopefully the weather picks up, because it has been absolutely miserable. Rain, not so much windy, but yeah, miserable rain, cold. But that's the realities of life. We chose to stay down in the south for this time of the year. We could be up north in the hot weather, but because we've basically been in South Australia since before Christmas, and we're heading back to Streaky Bay at Christmas time to meet up with family, to spend some time with family at Christmas time, we chose to stay south. We won't get into the north, into the hot weather, but that's it. That's the reality of life. You can't always be in the best weather. Even if you're in the top of Australia, you can get bad weather. You can be in cyclones or whatever, so you take the good with the bad. We've been lucky since we have left, with the car's been serviced, the transmission's been serviced. We haven't had any issues whatsoever. We've put a new set of tyres on it. That's really, other than the fuel and that's really the only money we have spent on the car. So it's been pretty damn reliable. It's got about 140,000 k's, I think, on the clock now. I'd have to look at the speedo to see exactly, but so that's where we're at. It's not a bad caravan park here. We're right across from the amenities, so it's pretty good. We're okay. We're all set up, so that's the reality of being on the road full time, or even, as I said, even if you're not on full time, you're just on holidays. Breakdowns happen. You can't crack it. It's just part of life, even if you're at home. Yeah, and so I'm not sure if, let us know in the comments, because we're not going to be able to get out and see Mount Gambier or anything. Let us know in the comments. I mean, Chris can do some more cooking time videos if that's something you're interested in, but we're not going to be able to have any, obviously, going around looking at the areas. So let us know. It'll either be a couple of weeks you won't hear from us because we'll have nothing to show, or we could do a couple of Chris's cooking time videos. in the meantime, I've learned how to crochet. So when we went into town yesterday, luckily there was a Spotlight next door that had a sale on. So I'm learning to make beanies and blankets and all sorts of things to keep me busy, because yeah, it's like Chris said, weather's miserable and there isn't even really an enclosed camp kitchen here to kind of try and spread out a bit. Yeah, so let us know in the comments, would you just rather wait till we're on the road again or do some cooking time videos? Let us know.
I think I'm going to cook anyway. Doesn't matter. We've got to eat.
That's true.
So yeah, so that's it. We'll put in a bit of Tracy will edit in some footage that we've taken. There won't be much, but yeah, that's basically where we're at and how things are going. And other than that, it's all travelling along well. We've seen some magnificent country. We've been, as I said, we've been a complete half lap of Australia. It's only taken us how long?
14 months. 14
months, yeah. That is unfortunately rushing down through the centre of Australia to get to Streaky at Christmas. Christmas just gone. We want to go back up into the centre of Australia around Uluru and Kings Canyon and things like that and explore that further. That will come next year. So, all right, guys, stay safe, safe travels, and don't forget to have a look at our website for any of the recipes that you've seen me cook or coming up, and that'll give you an idea of what we're doing as far as cooking with Chris and other stuff. There is some merchandise there if you're interested. But anyway,
and even, you know, we never ever have said this ever, I don't think, but maybe consider giving us a like and a thumbs up and even subscribing. And a lot of people have actually said they don't know how to subscribe, so let us know if you, it actually doesn't cost anything. Let us know if you, I don't think you can comment if you're not subscribed on YouTube, but in our social media, Facebook, contact us on Aussie Counters. Let us know if you don't know how to subscribe to YouTube, and we might do a little video on that, because it's not that hard.
I think anyway. What does the statistics say on our stats?
Yeah, our stats, I think we're about 75 to 80% of people that watch our videos aren't subscribed. And I'm not sure if, because we have the older age group that are watching our videos, if that's the reason why people aren't subscribed. But yeah, let us know. Anyway, that's enough of us rambling on. We'll see you when we see you next.
Bye, guys.
Bye. So here is the Blue Lake at Mount Gambier. We're up at a lookout to get a bit of a view. It's not far from our caravan park, so we took the risk with the car to have a look and get out of the caravan. There it is. Not so blue this time of year.
G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Chris. About to make another mess in the caravan again, aren't we, Tracy?
Mm-hmm.
So today I'm going to do a Aussie Encounter style spaghetti sauce, bolognese sauce. These are some of the ingredients you can swap and change to suit yourself, but this is what I use, and we'll take it from there. So what we have 500 grams of bolognese mince, which is a pork and beef mince. We're going to use half the amount of mushrooms. That's what's that?
500 grams.
So about 250 grams of mushrooms we're going to use. We're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to have a bit of a base sauce from the Dolmio, some garlic, diced tomato, some smoky hickory bourbon, tomato sauce, a bit of balsamic vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, tomato sauce, Tabasco of course. Over the back we have some tomato paste and 2 onions diced, 2 carrots diced, and about 3 or 4 rashers of smoky bacon I've used diced up as well. So basically what we're going to do is start off in the pan. We're going to put a bit of the butter here with a bit of olive oil just to melt up, and then we're going to get our onions and carrots in cooking, and we'll come back to you once we've started that. So okay, so I've put a little knob of butter with a little bit of olive oil into the pan. Got the butter melted down. We've thrown in our onions, so we're going to sweat those out a little bit, just so they start to go translucent a little bit. Once you get about halfway there on the onions, I tend to add a little bit of garlic. And to that I mean about, let's make it easy on Tracy, about a teaspoon of garlic to the onions. Let's just crush garlic out of the jar. Don't worry, we'll be adding more garlic later on, if it needs. At this stage you want to keep moving it around so you don't want to burn the garlic. So make sure you keep going. Once the onions are starting to go a little bit translucent, I'm going to throw in the carrots. Start to get them done as well. And yes, it would be easier to take the chopping board to the pan, but I've got other stuff on it. Told you I'm making a mess.
Yeah, that.
That's what we're looking like at the moment. What the idea is, and I'm take it for however you want to take it. I'm no cook, I'm no chef, I'm just a hack. You want to get the vegetables half to 3/4 of the way cooked. And you're going to take it out of the pan, put them in a bowl, because they're going to go back into the sauce later on and they'll finish cooking off when it simmers off. So you want to get the vegetables about 3/4 cooked. You can add the bacon now if you want. I tend to add it with the meat. So, but we'll let that go for a bit, get these sweated down a bit more, and we'll come back to you then. Okay, so it's been about 4 minutes. We've been sweating the onions off. We don't want them to brown, we only just want them to start to get translucent, just where they are. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take them off the pan. And we're going to start off with our mincemeat. Obviously breaking it all up. Okay, so we're cooking this over medium to high heat. You see it's broken up, starting to brown off. It's just a little bit to go. This is when I add the bacon back to the pan. Or not back to the pan. Mix that through. Keep it over the medium to high heat until all your minced meat has browned off, then turn it down to low. Alright, we'll come back to you once that's ready to turn back down. We'll start. Okay, so we've browned the meat off. It's now all nicely browned, so turn the heat right down to low. We're going to add our tomato paste. This is just a satchel, which is 2 tablespoons worth. get it everywhere. And mix that through. Now for me, this is the fun part. This is the part that always is different from batch to batch because it's how much you season. So we're going to add the all our seasonings. So we're going to add a full can of diced tomatoes. Let it mix through. Remember, this is on simmer now, so now we're going to add our bit of a cheat, and we're going to add a jar of, which I can open, there we go. Oops.
What flavour is that one?
That's a Dolmio's chili. Damn. That's okay. If I hadn't dropped the lid, I would have put a bit of water in there, put the lid on, shaken it up and get it all the way in. Anyway, get that mixed through. Okay, if Tracy comes over, you can already start to see it's starting to look like a nice skitty sauce base, pasta base. So now we're going to start now adjusting at our different flavours into it. So I'm going to put a little bit more garlic, another teaspoon of garlic. You can go ahead and add your vegetables back to it now. So we'll add our onion and our carrot back. And if your kids don't eat a lot of vegetables, don't let them see them chopping up the carrots and all that for the menu. It's just spaghetti sauce.
You can chop them up smaller.
Yeah, you can chop them up smaller if you've got a little bar mix, a little chopper. You can even shred them even and do that. So now we're going to use half of the mushrooms. I'm going to use the mushrooms in another dish for another day. Got a bad look. Oh, I mushroomed the floor. Sorry. So at this stage we've got it on low at the moment, over the low heat, simmering. We've added the mushrooms, mixed them through. So now we're going to, the sauce is thick. So now we're going to add some more liquid. This is half a cup of barbecue sauce. That's the smoky one. And I use a guesstimate, which is probably about 1/3 of the cup of tomato sauce. About that much. Okay, now's the time, once you've put those in, start tasting and testing and adjusting, adding, well, I can't subtract, but add. We haven't put any seasoning, we haven't put any salt and pepper in it yet, but we're going to now put 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Some people will use cooking wine or port, or we tend to use the balsamic vinegar. It's got a nice little bit of a kick to it. Not hot, it's just a little bit of a zing. If you go too far, pinch of brown sugar mixed through it as well. It will take some of the acidic away, taste away. Taste test and see how it's progressing. Yep. Can't forgive me, Tabasco. Oh, okay, someone's frowning behind the camera. About that much.
Warning.
So now we're going to put a bit of salt in, just season to salt, a good pinch of salt. Again, you might need more, it depends on what you like, and probably as much of the pepper as well, black pepper. Then a bit of a stir through, a bit of a taste.
And you normally have mixed herbs, don't you?
Yeah, I normally have Italian mixed herbs. I would have mixed through earlier on, but we run out. So use what we've got on hand at the time. As you can see, it makes a decent pot of sauce. So this will be quite a few dinners. We can freeze some off and. Hang on. You taste it. What do you think? What does it need? A bit more vinegar? No? No brown sugar?
No, I think that's pretty good at the moment.
Normally, if I had cream, the tiniest amount of cream into it, believe it or not, it makes a big difference. It'll smooth it off and change the consistency. The only thing I do now, just put a dash of Worcestershire sauce in it.
What did your dad used to call it?
Who's your sister?
Who's your sister?
Who's your sister sauce? Yeah. And I like to put a nice handful of shredded cheese in it as well. Stir that through. We've seasoned it, we've added all our bits and bobs as we showed you at the start. Tasted it as we go along, as we're seasoning it till it gets to where you like it. Now obviously everyone's taste is different, so you might want more Tabasco, you might want less, you might not any at all, might want a bit more port or a bit more balsamic vinegar. Just keep in mind, if you go too far, you're going to need to cut through the acidic taste, because you put tomato paste, tomato sauce and diced tomatoes, you get a lot of the acid from the tomatoes. So just a good pinch of brown sugar if you need it. Don't go too far, then it becomes too sweet. But so what we're going to do now, we're going to chuck the lid on and we're going to let it simmer for at least 30-40 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, come back and stirring it as you go along. And that's basically it. Then you just cook up whatever pasta you want to cook. Everyone knows how to cook pasta, but that's basically our spaghetti sauce. We'll have that on our pasta tonight for tea. Then we'll divide it up into some Ziploc bags again, chuck the rest in the freezer, and you've probably got, in that pot today, made a little bit more than I thought I would. Maybe enough for 3 or 4 meals for 2 people, maybe 4, depends on how much pasta sauce you like with your pasta, but easily 3 good meals for 2 people, plus what you're going to get out of it tonight. So that's basically how I make our spaghetti sauce for our pasta. Didn't take very long. Yes, you need a little bit of bits and pieces, but again, see what you got in your cupboard. If you haven't got barbecue sauce, just the ordinary barbecue sauce. Tomato sauce, you don't need tomato paste, it's up to you, but this is how I do it. I learnt from Tracy, I've sort of progressed it on from Tracy's recipe, and again, just adjust, season to taste, and yeah, enjoy. And let us know if you try it, what you think. Any suggestions to improve it. As I said, I'm not a cook or a chef, I'm just sort of winging it, and if you got any suggestions to help improve on it, it'd be greatly appreciated, so stick it in the comments below. Again, this will be on our website under the recipe section, how to make the pasta sauce. We won't have to do the pasta, we'll just put the recipe just for the pasta sauce. Okay, thanks guys, enjoy. Okay guys, we've finished cooking the meat sauce. We've actually had our tea, we've cooked some pasta and had 2 big bowls, and this is what's left over. We've got 2 lots in the freezer bag and 2 other meals left from the pasta ready for tomorrow. So all in all, it's going to give you about 6 to 8 servings, depending on how much meat sauce you put. So yeah, that's it. That's our spaghetti bolognese meat sauce, my way, or Aussie Encounters way. So if you give it a go, let us know, and hopefully you enjoy. Bye guys.